Start. Our today's theme is recycling.
Yes, I will give you information about recycling, reproducing some materials, for example, metal, paper, or some plastic things can be recycled. Uh, Let me just give some background information about recycling. Recycling is the process which can help us to reduce amount of uh, greenhouse gases and lowering the amount of energy and saving our and making uh, and making our environment clean. For example, we don't have to waste our materials again, and we can economize it. I want to give some facts about recycling. For example, UK recycling level in the UK is one of the highest in the world. For example, the 64% of products recycled in the UK by some organizations, voluntary communities, and some other organizations. For example, between 1960 and 2000, usage of plastic increased 25 times, but recycling is below the 5%. The first idea is about recycling come to us from Plato in 4th BC century. He gave some information about recycling and about future of the recycling, and then first paper recycling
Please continue.
31. They recycled first paper, and we can tell about something that cannot be recycled or takes too many energy or materials to recycle it. For example, it can be food materials or garden tools. They are harmful for our environment, and they cannot be recycled, or they take too much energy to recycle. It will be expensive. So our countries prefer to not recycle it. Recycling over the world, one pupil uses 600 times bigger than him. He uses too much material and makes it becomes trash. So recycling materials are different, and it depends on their process of recycling. For example, recycling the paper is too easy, and recycling metal can be more energetic, and it takes money, energy, and some resources. And I think that's all.
Thank you very much, but I have a question for you. What do you suggest to improve recycling in our government?
This is an interesting question because our we have a new party which is called scientific works to recycle things. I think improvement of recycling depends on our people, on us, because if we separate our trash, recycling will be improved. We should pay some attention to garbage when we throw it to bin. We should throw it to its garbage bin.
Thank you very much.
Or
and what about others? Do you have any opinion for recycling? Alabirgan, what do you think about recycling?
I have no question.
Okay, thank you very much, Servar Bey. And who else? Who wants to continue? Who is ready? Alabirgan, are you ready?
What is recycling? Recycling is the process of collecting, separating, reusing, and remanufacturing used materials and products. Nearly anything we see and use can be recycled. Origin. Recycling has been a common practice for most of human history, with recorded advocates as far back as Plato in the 1st century BC. In pre-industrial times, there is evidence of scrap bronze and other metals being collected in Europe and melted down for perpetual use. Paper recycling was first recorded in 1031 when Japanese shops sold repulped paper. Why recycling should be done? Recycling is one of the best ways for you to have a positive impact on the world in which we live. Recycling is important to both the natural environment and use. We must act fast as the amount of waste we create is increasing all the time. The amount of rubbish we create is constantly increasing because increasing wealth means that people are buying more products and ultimately creating more waste. Increasing population means that there are more people on the planet to create waste. New packaging and technological products are being developed. Much of these products contain materials that are not biodegradable. New lifestyle changes such as eating fast food means that we create additional waste that isn't biodegradable. And research results. A study conducted by the Technical University of Denmark, according to economists, found that is 83% of cases. And types of recycling: air recycling, plastic recycling, chemical recycling, wood recycling, glass recycling, textiles recycling, bricks, waste paper recycling. Air recycling uses electronics which are destined for resale. Salvage, recycling, or disposal are also considered a waste. Electronic scrap components such as CPUs contain potentially harmful components such as lead, cadmium, and others. Plastic recycling is the process of recovering scrap or waste plastic and reprocessing the material into usable products. Soft plastics are also recycled, such as polyethylene film and bags. And chemical recycling. Chemical recycling refers to operations that aim to chemically degrade the collected plastics waste into its monomers or other basic chemicals. Glass recycling is the process of waste glass into usable products. Glass and waste should be separated by chemical composition and then, depending on the end use and local processing capabilities, might also have to be separated into different colors. Wood recycling is the process of turning waste timber into usable products. Recycling timber is a practice that was popularized in the early 1990s, and as issues such as deforestation and climate change prompted both timber suppliers and consumers to turn to a more sustainable timber source. Textiles recycling is the process by which old clothing and other textiles are recovered for reuse and material recovery. It is the basis for the textile recycling industry. Bricks, inert waste recycling. Bricks are classed as inert waste and can be sent to landfill, subject to landfill tax rate of 2.50 per ton. However, many types of brick can be recycled as fill material, aggregate, or reused if the mortar can be removed cleanly. And waste paper recycling. The process of waste paper recycling most often involves mixing used old paper with water and chemicals to break it down. It is then chopped up and heated, which breaks it down further into standards of cellulose, a type of organic plant material. This resulting mixture is called pulp or slurry. And process of recycling is shown in this picture. Importance of recycling. It is important for environment and people, health, material, energy, landfills, of course. Environmental importance. It is very important as waste has a huge negative impact on the natural environment. Harmful chemicals and greenhouse gases are released from rubbish into landfill sites. Recycling helps to reduce the pollution caused by waste. Now, dear students, we watch a video about recycling.
Marino Zarzera, sono responsabile del reparto manutenzione impianti generali per Vetrerie Meridionali SPA.
Packaging makes such a spectacular exit. Millions of packages in Germany simply feel empty at some point, squeezed out and useless. The result is 2.5 million tons of packaging waste each year that ends up in the yellow bag or the yellow bin. And from there to a sorting plant. The problem is different kinds of plastic are difficult to separate from each other and from other materials. That's why most waste ends up being used for energy recovery. The empty packaging is burned for energy in conventional power plants, for example, or in the steel or cement industry. At this sorting plant in southern Hessen, the Milo company plans to greatly increase the proportion of reusable waste, the kind that can be recycled into new products. Waste is collected from yellow bags and yellow bins in the surrounding region. The problem is, the waste contains material that doesn't belong here, like non-returnable packaging and a large amount of other household waste as well. This bottle belongs in the yellow bin. It's made of high-density polyethylene, also known as HDPE, as does this bottle made of polyethylene terephthalate, or PET, and this bottle cap made of polypropylene, or PP for short. These reusable plastics are mixed up with other materials. homogeneous stream of material gets sorted out later in the process. First, the waste is gathered from a 300-kilometer radius. Bottles that are made of recyclable material. These PP caps are also produced using 100% plastic from the yellow bag. Once again, it's recycled granulate from Eisfeld that does the job. We use recycled material from the yellow bag for our PET and HDPE bottles and for our PP caps, and we hope to increase this share in the future. We're still looking for market partners in this initiative in order to further lower recycling material costs. In other words, the more packaging producers use recycling material from the yellow bag, the greater the production capacity will grow, making it more economical to use this recycled material. At Werner and Metz, PET bottles make up a large share of packaging. Despite all the sorting with high-tech machinery, adequate quantities of PET granulate from the yellow bag still aren't available. So PET granulate from the yellow bag is mixed with PET granulate from the deposit system, mostly made from empty beverage bottles. The preforms from the first production stage in Mainz are blown into bottles and later filled. In the end, they're made of 20% PET plastic from the yellow bag and 80% plastic from the deposit system. More than 80 million bottles are produced this way each year at the plant in Mainz. The company aims to gradually increase the share of PET bottles made with yellow bag material, while at the same time using more of this high-quality recycled plastic for all of its packaging. That means an HDPE bottle is made from another HDPE bottle. A PP cap from a PP cap. And a PET bottle from another PET bottle. That preserves the raw materials and energy invested in plastic production. Until now, only a fraction of packaging from the yellow bag and bin got recycled. But experience shows that plastic from the yellow bag can be used in a material cycle. And no matter how unspectacular the